everyone, and welcome to the first episode of Call Sheet Confessions. I'm your host, LePage, and we're kicking it off in Philadelphia, where it all started for me. I am a Philly girl at heart, although I'm a Cali girl now. So we're going to be talking all things entertainment and media, from crazy production runs like buying all of the whipped cream in a store, stacking a grocery cart full of like 10 water cases and trying to push it around as a 4'10" girl, and things like being rushed in an ambulance before performing with Kiki Palmer for the Broccoli City Music Festival. We're going to be getting into it all because this industry is so crazy, but that's the reason that we love it. So the reason that I wanted to start this podcast is because I went to school for media studies and production, and I met a lot of friends in this program, and we all were interested in different things. Some people wanted to work in music, some people wanted to be performers and talent, some people wanted to work on the production side of things, be a journalist, a news reporter, so many different things. But post-college and post-grad, a lot of my friends know they want to work in this industry, but don't exactly know where they fit, or even after 4 years of college, what does a director really do? What does a producer really do? What does a talent wrangler do? Like, where do you fit on the call sheet? Hence, Call Sheet Confessions. So I wanted to start this because working on the talent side of things as a dancer and working on the production side of things as a production assistant, also on the talent side, I have access to a lot of cool people and have a lot of cool conversations with people that I think would be really helpful for aspiring creatives wanting to break into the industry. So we have a lot of upcoming fun guests. We have some dance people, some production people, camera people. Like, I want to hit every single point of the call sheet so that we can really get that information to you of what does this mean, what does that mean, where do I fit, do I actually want to do this rather than that? There's a lot of unanswered questions. And I get a lot of messages all the time of, how'd you get this job? How'd you get this opportunity? And this is going to be where that information is shared. I'm also just super big on wanting to inspire people to follow their dreams. And I think if your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough. And that's another reason I wanted to do this, because I want to inspire people and show them that it is possible to achieve their dreams. They just don't have the access to the information. So a little bit about me and why I am a dancer, how I got into it, and why I wanted to do this is I grew up dancing from 2.5 years old. So very little, like just walking. Now I'm in a dance studio. And a little bit older than that, around like kindergarten age, I also started doing dances for my family. I started doing my own fake like newscasts with my little sister, doing my own segments, hosting my own show, and like forcing my family to film it. And I was just always drawn to being in front of a camera and the industry. So that's how my first interest in this industry began. And then at a really young age, at 6 years old, I started dancing for the 76ers mini team. And I was the youngest dancer ever on that team. And when I first auditioned, the coach actually told my grandfather that, you know, she's cute, she can learn the dances, but she can't perform with them at the Wells Fargo Center. Like, she's too young. It's 20,000 people. She doesn't have the training. I would go home every single night practicing my dances at Sixers constantly. And when it got to that first performance, they allowed me to perform. They were like, you know what? She learned the steps. She can perform. But I got super nervous. My stomach felt like so uncomfortable. And my grandfather was with me, and I was like, Pop, I can't do it. Like, I can't do it. My tummy hurts. And he was like, Mia, those are butterflies. Like, that's just nerves. Like, you're just excited. It's a bad thing to be nervous. It just means you're excited and that you care about what you're going to do. And you're doing it, you know. He always says, do it or don't. So I had to do it. So I go out on that stage, the court, basically, and the guy sitting next to my grandfather whispers over to him and says, who's that little one? Like, she's great. Like, and Pop's like, that's my granddaughter. And that moment, I really fell in love with performing, because you just walk out and you can't even see every single person, but the people right in front of you, you're performing for them and everyone in the arena, and seeing people smile and laugh and just like have a great time. Like, I love making people feel something and making people feel happy, and that was like the start of it for me. It's when I fell in love with performing. So since then, I've danced for artists like Kiki Palmer, Lelay. I performed at Madison Square Garden with A Boogie. I've done some music videos that we're going to get into. And I also danced for the 76ers again on their actual professional team while I was in college. So while I was in college, I was dancing for the NBA, and it was a super cool experience and really full circle having danced as a kid and then being on the team again as an adult. I was like my first dance goal ever as a child was to be on the 76ers dance team, and I did it, so it was pretty cool. Now, that's some of my performance experience, but like I said, I work production, and I work on the back end as well. So growing up, when I was interested in my newscasts and making those videos, I loved posting on YouTube, posting on Instagram, and I really became fascinated with social media. Growing up as a dancer, I don't know why, but I was really bullied for it. Like, a lot of the people I went to school with played sports, and I was like the only dancer, and I was posting my dance videos, and people would really bully me in my school and even at the dance studio, the people that I was around every day. But I loved social media because I was able to connect with other people who shared the same passion as me, which is dance, from all over, and people that respected what I did and I respected what they did. And it was really cool because I was making these connections and friendships with people all over. So when I would go to dance competitions, I would kind of like not hang out with my dance team, but then I'd have a bunch of friends and people that I knew from social media. So that was really cool. And that started my interest into learning about the back end of the industry because I thought social media was so cool and I wanted to learn more about how to market myself, promote myself. And there was a personal branding class at Temple, and I was like, what major is that? How do I take that class? And that was MSP. So MSP is Media Studies and Production, and I got to learn so many cool things. I took a voiceover class. I took classes if I was a news anchor. I took like media business, like how to make your media business, which I'm doing right now. I took so many cool classes, and then from there, I graduated college, and I decided to move to Los Angeles. I was debating between, at first, it was going to be New York. I can't do the cold anymore. My hands are dry. I'm back in Philly, and I can't do it. It was hailing last night, but then I was going to move to Atlanta because I loved it there. And I did a few dance intensives there and had like a great time and thought that was going to be the place. But then I went to LA and I was like, no, this is the spot for me. And I've been loving it. So I moved to Los Angeles, and right before that, I graduated college, and I really wanted to be the speaker at graduation. I didn't get picked, unfortunately. I was like the runner-up. But the dean asked to take me to lunch. And so I went to lunch, and the dean's assistant asked me, the vice dean asked me if I had a job lined up after college. And I did at the time. So I was like, yes, I do. And she's like, are you open to work? I was like, sure. Like, I always want to make everything work. I want to do it all. So I'm like, sure, I'll hear about it. So she said that an alum of Temple, John Foy, was the executive producer of John Mulaney's Netflix show and was looking for production assistants and asked if I was interested. And I was like, yes, I'm interested. Thankfully, I said I was interested because the job that I had lined up ended up falling through, which that's a lesson I want to talk about is rejection is just redirection. I was really, really sad at the time because it was like a dream job of mine and it was perfect. I was going to go out to LA post-college with a full-time job, like, let's go, and it fell through. However, I got to work on John Mulaney's comedy show on Netflix, so it was awesome. And those were 12-hour days you're working on set. So it was a new type of format for me working that much, and I was meeting all new people and learning all new phrases and production talk and everything, and I just fell in love with it. Like, you get to meet such cool people and have fun conversations and be a part of something so cool. And from there, I then worked on another production. I worked on a reality show, which is going to be coming out on Netflix within this next year in 2026. So that was really exciting as well. So I have this background in the backside of entertainment as well as talent, which I think puts me in a really unique position to talk about both sides of the entertainment industry in that way. So that gets into what is this podcast going to look like? What's going to be the structure? What are we going to dive into? So I'm going to be interviewing people from across the entertainment and media industry. And these are the things that I'm going to be asking them about. So the first segment we're going to have is what's on your call sheet, which is basically like what's a day in your life? What does it look like? Or as a choreographer, what does a day in your life look like? As a camera op, what does a day in your life look like? Things like that. Then we're going to get into hot takes in Hollywood. So it's going to be like a this or that entertainment style, like early call time or late wrap. For an actor or dancer, self-tape audition or in-person audition, things like that, kind of get to know everyone. Then we're going to dive in to Rumor Has It, Tier Truth, Fact or Fiction, we'll workshop in the name. But it's basically going to be where guests debunk like a common myth about the entertainment industry. For example, a production person, we might ask them, do crews hate last-minute rewrites? Or are there really crazy production runs? Or like, does this really happen? And I guess is going to say whether it does or does not. So I'm really excited for that. Then we're going to get into Crafty Corner. So what Crafty is if you've ever been on set, there's a crafty table. Again, these are 12-hour days where you're on set. So you'll usually have catered meals occasionally, or you'll have a walkaway meal like once a day or twice if you go overtime. And between that, you're going to get hungry, you're going to need a cup of coffee, you're going to need a little pick-me-up, so we have a crafty table. And people always have their favorite crafty snacks. When something's out, people will be like, yes, they finally got the pretzel twist, or they finally have this. So we're going to ask people what their favorite crafty item is, what their ideal crafty table would look like. I'm excited for that one. Then we're going to do our industry icks and betrayal list. So we all have seen the trend on TikTok of your betrayal list. We're going to do the industry version. Like, what's an ick about the industry for you? For example, mine is net 30 and net 90 payment. Why am I not getting my money for 90 days? I could be in a music video and not get paid for 3 months. That's my industry ick. Another one is, this job is unpaid, but it's great exposure. Why are we not paying people? So I think that's going to be some tea in there. And then, of course, this is called call sheet confessions. So every guest is going to share their call sheet confession. Now, this could be a chaotic moment. This could be an embarrassing moment. This could be something that no one knows that happened on set or on the job. And I'm going to share one of mine as well in a little bit. So let's get into my personal entertainment journey. I talked a little bit about it, but let's get into it, dive into it just a little more. So the way that I got into dance was actually my grandfather knew a studio owner, and she was like, you have to get her into dance. And he put me in a dance class, and I was first in ballet. Now, I was like hanging from the ballet bars, like running around in the back of the class. Like, ballet was not for me. I love to dance, but when it was like fun, upbeat music. Ballet is just, it wasn't for me. So I got a little older and I asked them, like, I loved the jazz class. So then they had a class that was half ballet, half jazz, but it was like a couple years older than me. Like, I wasn't really the age for it, but I like begged them to put me in that class because I just couldn't do, it was too boring, just the ballet that I was in. So I went into that class, and I was the youngest, which has been a theme in my life. I'm usually the youngest in a lot of rooms. But I loved it. The challenge, I realize, is what always excites me. I love a challenge. If something's laid out for me, if it's going to be super easy, I'm really not in it. Like, I need a challenge. I want to see how far I can push myself. So I loved that class, and that really, like, piqued my interest into, like, okay, I just need to be challenged. Like, that's what's missing. And then, of course, like I mentioned, I did the Sixers at a young age. Then I went actually back to, like, a ballet company, but anyway. Then I broke my feet. I, like, broke my sesamoids, so that was, like, not happening for me anymore. And I landed back in hip-hop where I meant to be. So then I competed for a few years with Touch of Class Dance in Broomall, Pennsylvania. I competed with them. And again, every convention, hip-hop was just like my thing. I remember I went to Radix Dance Convention, and there was a guest teacher. There was Phil Wright. And and he ran up to me after his class, like chased me up the escalator and was like, I just had to tell you that you're a star. Like, dedication throughout the class, your performance, like you are a star. And those moments that moment meant so much to me specifically because, again, like dance studios and dance environments, they can be kind of toxic growing up. And I was the new kid at that dance studio and I was bullied. But having Phil Wright, a choreographer I really looked up to, tell me that I'm a star and like he really saw me, that really gave me like the determination of like, I gotta do this. Like I meant to do this. It was like that reassurance that I needed at the time. So then after dancing competitively, I graduated, or I was about to graduate high school, and I ended up joining Creative Reaction Dance Company in Philadelphia. And again, I was the youngest. You had to be 18 at the time, and I asked if I could audition, and my friend's skills vouched for me and was like, I think she is great. She's young, but she can do this. And so I went to the audition. I ended up making the team, which was awesome, and I got to train with all these amazing dancers in Philadelphia while I was still in high school. So I was driving from like King of Prussia area to Philly and back and going to school. I also graduated high school a year early. There was a lot going on. And then I planned to leave Philadelphia after high school, but I really fell in love with Creative Reaction and didn't feel like my time was done with that team. So I ended up going to Temple University while I was dancing with CR. We ended up competing at World of Dance. We placed top 3 in the world, I believe. And then a couple years later, they placed first in the world. We did, a lot of competitions like that and performances. I was in a music video with 7 Deep. It was really cool opportunities and got to meet like a lot of great friends and people in the dance community in Philadelphia. Now, besides dance, I also grew up acting. I grew up in theater and doing productions. I was JoJo in Seussical the Musical, and I just I wanted to be a triple threat, but like singing was never on my side. But acting I thought was super cool. And since being in LA, I've been taking an acting class, and I've been able to meet so many amazing friends and people there. And I feel like, just side note, if you're moving to a big city, definitely like put yourself out there and getting into different activities. Like this acting class, I was interested in acting, but I also got to meet so many great friends and people out of it. I even dog sat for my acting teacher. Like I ended up getting work out of it. So that would be like really great advice for anyone moving to a big city. Like find community, get involved in some activities. And back to college. After dancing for CR, I auditioned for Lay Banks. I got to perform with her on the Nick Cannon Future Superstar Tour. I performed with her in Virginia. We opened up for Glorilla. And then after that, I performed with Kiki Palmer at the Broccoli City Music Festival. It was like a summer of wins, guys. Break up with that shitty ex-boyfriend and you get a summer of wins. That's truly what happened. I let that dead weight go. I booked Sixers, Kiki, Laybanks. Then I went viral. This is a big thing. I went viral at Temple University because I raised my hand. I went to my friend's dance performance, and they danced for BAM, which I was a part of in Temple for a little bit. And it's like our Temple hip-hop dance crew. And they were doing a performance, and so I went to support my friends. They asked the audience, they were like, hey, is anyone, like, want to do this dance battle? And I was like, and so they're like, you look like you want to dance. So they call me up. And I'm, like, excited, but I'm also scared. Like, I don't know what they're about to have me do. Then they're like, who wants to go? Now, this was, like, my junior year. So a lot of people knew me on campus by this point. So no one was trying to like battle against me because they knew I was like the dancer girl. But this poor freshman, shout out to her, thanks for being a good sport. But this poor freshman girl like raised her hand and they brought her up on stage. And fortunately for me, I whooped her ass. Like, I killed this battle. They told us we were doing hips, like the Philly. We were blicking, and I was like, I got this. I learned it from Lay Banks. My girl Mora taught me how to do this. And my friends were on the side hyping me up, and I just had to go crazy. I just went crazy. That video ended up getting like 13 million views, which is what skyrocketed my social media, brought attention to my page. I was able to score brand deals since then. It really opened things up for me. And that is the story of how that happened. Now, the story that most people don't know is before that performance, right, I was just going to see my friends perform. So I went and got some food. I got Chinese food. It's right by the Richies on campus. I think it's Thai's Vietnamese, something like that. If you're a Temple student, it's delicious. I went there. I got like chicken and broccoli, and then ate like the entire thing. I go and I'm battling for my life, so I do an aerial, which is a cartwheel with no hands, and because I had to like secure the win, like I was like I have to. Now everyone's cameras turn off, thankfully, after the battle. I look to my friends outside stage. I'm like, guys, I'm gonna be sick. I'm gonna be sick. And they all moved back. I vomited off of the side of the stage at Temple University. Crazy. Crazy. Now, thankfully, that video did not make it to social media. I was scared once the first one went viral that then we would see me vomit off the stage, but thankfully no one posted that video, but that is the truth behind that story. The glamorous moments that you see on social media, the winning the dance battle, you have no idea what happened 2 seconds later. So, that was a time. And now we're going to get to what I wish I knew before entering the entertainment industry. Well, the one thing I mentioned was rejection is redirection. It's a big one. Another story I have on that is at Creative Reaction Studios, the original location. A teacher, Rosero McCoy, was coming to teach a class in Philadelphia, and he was like, I'm looking for dancers for upcoming things. So I went to this class, and he was looking for people, so it was like class / like audition style. So I went in, like stood in the front, like killed it, and he started putting me next to certain people and trying to see like how it would look. He had already booked 2 of the dancers, so he was looking for 2 opposites to 2 dancers he already booked. He loved me, and I knew I was killing it, but the girl that he had booked, who would be my opposite, is way taller than me. And so he kept trying to make it work, and he was like, Mia, I love you, but you're just too short. And I was crushed. But I also was really proud of myself because there was nothing in that audition I could have done better. I can't make myself a foot taller. I just can't. But everything that I could control in that audition, I did, and I killed it. So I was proud of myself because if that's the only reason I didn't get it, that's not something I can control. Although, it's unfortunate. However, months later, he had asked for my phone number at that audition, and months later, I get a call from Los Angeles. Now, if it's LA, Philly, New York, Atlanta, I'll answer it. So I answer the call. Thank God I answered this call. And he was like, hey, Mia, it's Rosero. I'm doing Kiki Palmer at Broccoli City Music Festival. Are you down? Like, are you available? Now, I was not available, but of course I'm like, yes, I'm available. Like, I actually planned to be in New York that week, but I had paid for an entire intensive. But I was like, yeah, I'm available. And Kiki Palmer, like, I went to Joffrey growing up every summer in New York City, the Joffrey Summer of Hip Hop Intensive. And Charles at King Chuckaduck, love him, he would have me do warm-up sometimes, and he'd ask, like, what song I wanted to warm up everyone up to, and I would pick Bossy by Kiki Palmer. So going from warming up in the dance studio to Bossy by Kiki Palmer to then performing that song next to her on stage was the coolest thing. And that was a real big lesson for me of, like, rejection is just redirection, and like you'll never miss what's meant for you. Like what's meant for you will never pass you by. That first audition, it didn't work out. It was too short. But then I got to perform with an artist that I love and a song that I love. So things can happen that way. Now, another thing that you should know about the entertainment industry is the grind between the glamorous jobs. Now, you could book something like when I was working on John Mulaney for 3 months, and then after that, you could be working at the acai bowl shop like I was doing. Because that's how it works with gig work. You know, when you're booking a production or you're booking a music video or things like that, you book that project, but then in that meantime, you have to figure out a way to make money in between. And something that's flexible, because at the drop of a hat, you might need to be at an audition or at a casting call, or the music video is filming that day. So it's hard, but you have to look for that flexible work, those people that understand, that root for you, or work for yourself, make your own business. A lot of girls do nails. Some girls do hair for people and things like that. But it definitely is a grind between those jobs. Like what you see on social media, people will reach out and be like, "You look like you're doing so great." I am, but like sometimes it's a little tough, but it looks kind of like everything's put together when it's not always like that. Like a lot of people actually industry trick between productions will go on unemployment. Like they'll do that. That'll be what they live off of until the next job. So you just got to find what works for you and what makes sense for you. But there's definitely a grind between those jobs. Like it's not going to be that consistent 9 to 5 paycheck every couple weeks or whatever. Like you're not going to have that payment structure. It's going to be a little wonky. So you have to figure out ways around that. Biggest lesson in entertainment: networking. Networking is so important. Being a good person is so important. Like I said, you work 12-hour days. No one wants to work 12 hours a day with people that annoy them, okay? People want to work 12 hours a day with people that are fun to talk to, team players, help everybody out. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. Like, we're in this together. And I don't think I would be as successful in this industry thus far if I wasn't fun to work with, okay? Especially when it comes to production. I'm a great runner. I'm great at my job. But when it comes to lifting heavy things, I can't lift the heaviest things, okay? But people love to have me around because I'm a good time. And I make those 12-hour days fly by. Also, talk to everyone. Don't just... My biggest pet peeve is kiss-assy people. I can't stand them. I can't stand them. And the people that you're kiss-assing to might also not, like, hate it. Like, you have to read the room and know the people that you're interacting with. But don't just talk to the people you think you should be talking to. Talk to everyone. I love to talk to everyone. I love to have conversations with everyone. I just like to make friends. So I talk to everyone, the Teamsters, the people working the cameras, the talent people, the producers. Like, talk to everyone and just, you never know, you know? But that is going to be also a way that you'll open up opportunities for yourself, because the more people you meet, the more people hear about jobs and they like working with you, you like working with them, you bring them on a project, they bring you on a project. Like, I've gotten a lot of my friends hired on dance projects and social media projects because I enjoy working with them. We have a good rapport. If I see something and you fit it, perfect. So talk to everyone. Be fun to work with. Don't be annoying. Just don't be annoying. I've seen people not get days because people find them annoying. So don't be annoying. Also, be yourself. Like, don't try to hide your personality. Don't try to, I don't know, be like all like perfect and show your personality. Like, something about me is I always wear something sparkly and everyone knows it. Like, you might not see, but I have a sparkly bracelet. I have sparkly nails. Like, there will always be something sparkly on me. I'll wear sparkly shirts. I'll wear sparkly belts. Like, that is something that makes me me, and people know that's something about me. Like, I'm not hiding myself, you know, like, even on black show days when we wear all black, I wear black sparkly shoes. Like, be yourself, have your thing. Okay. My advice for anyone who wants to be in this industry and wants to move to LA, if you want to be a dancer, get in every class. Come out here, save money because classes are expensive. Get out to LA or New York, wherever, and take literally every class. You never know who you'll meet. I booked a music video off a class because one of the girls in the class, my friend Ariel Wilson, was directing a music video. Like, that was so random. Like, get in every class, meet people, talk to people. I also say every class that you take, try to make at least one friend and get that point of contact, whether it's a number to go grab coffee or Instagram to stay in touch. Make that point of contact. It's super important. And, like, it goes with the networking, meeting people, and also staying ready. Like, if you're in dance classes all the time, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. If you want to get into production, get on Staff Me Up. Get in those Facebook group chats. I had a friend who became a production assistant for Love Island because she was at a bar with friends. They saw the credits, and she was like, "Oh, I would love to, like, work on that show." And her friend was like, message the production coordinator, like, message her. And she was like, "No, I can. She was like, "Just do it." So she went on Instagram and she messaged this production coordinator, became friends. Like, don't message someone like, can I get a job? You know, like, create a friendship. Like, she was genuinely interested in what this person did and how she did it. And so asked her. And most people will want to give you that advice if you ask them how they got there. When people message me and ask, like, how I got into certain things or what their advice is for making, like, the Sixers, because I was on that team, like, I always give advice when I can. So you can book a job that way just by creating a friendship and reaching out to people, doing those cold pitching yourself and cold calling. Like, it can pay off. And then there's a situation like in my case where I knew an alum from my school, and then I met a different boss on that job who I loved and loved me, and she brought me on to another project. So that was kind of like more of a direct book situation through my networking, but everyone is different. Like, people have gotten into the entertainment industry from Staff Me Up, from the Facebook group chat. So those are a few different ways to get into it, production wise and dance wise. Social media is super important as well. Promote yourself, use that. Like, it's so important. It's like your visual resume now. Like, for castings, we're looking at Instagrams, we're submitting your dance videos from Instagram. Like, we're putting your reels on your pitch deck. So you want your Instagram to be like up to date with all your stuff. So the show is called Call Sheet Confessions. So I think it's time to share maybe one, maybe two or three of my Call Sheet confessions. So the first one that I'm going to share is when I performed for Kiki Palmer. This is a crazy story. This is a really crazy story. So we rehearsed in New York City for 1 week, and then the show was in D.C. So we stayed the night in D.C. The day before the performance. So I woke up that morning in the hotel in D.C., and my stomach was like killing me, and I was like, maybe it'll pass, you know. And so I get ready, I do my makeup, my outfit on, but I'm saying to like my friends, like, I'm not feeling well, like my stomach's really hurting. And we get in the car, and this is where it got really bad. Like, it was some of the worst pain that I've ever been in. And every bump we would go over, I was in like so much pain. I started crying. I couldn't move. Like, it was getting so bad. But I just rehearsed a week to perform with Kiki Palmer. The show is today. Like, I have to make it on stage. Like, I'm pushing through. Like, when I was growing up and did like theater, I did a whole production in a boot. I once went to the Abbey Lee Dance Company for a dance intensive in a boot. I also did Breaking Barriers with Anthony Burrell in a cast and a boot. Like, nothing is stopping me from getting on that stage. But my friends were all looking at me and like seeing how progressively worse the pain was getting, and was like, you need help. Like, we need to get you help. Like, this, I don't think you're going to be able to do it. And I was like, no, like, I have to do it. But when I did get out of the car, like, I couldn't walk. I was in so much pain. I had to sit down. I like couldn't walk. I was texting my mom, who was in Philadelphia, like, I'm in the worst pain I've ever been, and I don't know what to do. Like, they ended up having to call me an ambulance, and everyone like waited with me, and I just felt so bad because it's like letting myself down because I was so excited for it. I don't want to let Kiki down because the day of the show, like, one of her dancers gets injured, like, that's just stressful for everybody. But I also had to put my health first. Like, you do have to put your health first. And as a dancer, your body is your instrument. Like, you have to take care of yourself. And I had to listen to my body of, like, I can't do this. Like, I can't walk. Like, I have to sit down. And they called me the ambulance. And Rosario said to me, he's like, look, the pain might subside. If the pain subsides, let me know. So the ambulance comes. They put me in the ambulance. I'm just in pain. I'm crying. I'm, like, so upset. And I'm telling everybody that I think it's an ovarian cyst because in college I had an ovarian cyst, and I had to go to the hospital, and crazy story, it ended up like popping during the ultrasound, but it was all great, so that was good. But it was so painful up until it burst. So the pain was like very similar in like the same spot, and I was like, it's probably an ovarian cyst. The things we have to deal with as women. So I get in the ambulance. I'm on the way to the hospital. I get to the hospital. They put me in a wheelchair because I literally can't walk is how much pain I'm in. And so they're rushing me around, and they're like, we're going to do an ultrasound, which I knew was coming because they have to see what's going on. And I go into the room to do the ultrasound, and the lady is, like, kind of rude to me. And is not being like understanding of how I'm feeling. Like those are so uncomfortable. If you've ever had one, they're so uncomfortable. It's like girls, when you go to the gyno, it's very similar. It's very uncomfortable. And the woman was like not being understanding. And so she was like, I'm gonna leave and I'll like come back. I don't know. She was grabbing something, telling someone. I have no idea. She leaves the room and I notice the pain had subsided. I'm like, well, my stomach feels fine. I'm like moving around. I'm like, I think I'm ready to go. Like I think I'm good. So I make the executive decision to escape the hospital and find a way back to the stage, to be on stage. So I run out of the hospital room and I go to one of the nurses and I'm like, where's the nearest exit? And she's like, it's that way. And I said, great. And I run out of the hospital. I call the lift, so it's there when I get out. I hop in the lift. I'm like, pronto, we need to get back to this exact spot. I jump out. I run to everybody. I'm texting everyone. They're like, what happened? They're like, what did the doctor end up saying? I'm like, oh, it's fine. Like it was because guys, I didn't figure out what it was. It just went away, so I left. I figured the ovarian cyst popped. Great, I'm not in pain anymore. I need to get on stage. So I show up, and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, you're back!" And Rosero was like, "Look, like we did reblock it without you because we didn't know if you'd make it. Which obviously that has to happen. It's show business. The show must go on." And so they reblocked it without me. They already had tech rehearsal, and Rosero was like, "If you want to do it, like you gotta ask the dancers. Like it's up to them because they already did tech. They already did it without you. Like it's what they're comfortable with." Thankfully, like everyone in that group, I think except like one person I'd danced with before, and Deja, who I hadn't danced with before, like loved her. It was great. Everyone was super nice and like really close. We were a really close group, and a lot of people I knew from Philly, like my friend Serge and my friend Scooby, like we knew each other from Philly, so they knew me, they trust me, and I said to them, like, I feel ready, I want to do this. And they were like, look, like me, like, obviously we would have loved to do with you at Tech so that we'd feel, like, more confident as a group, but we want you to be a part of it. Like, that's okay. So thankful for them. And so then we ran it again with me, like, backstage, and I was like, I got this, like, we're gonna do it. So we go into the dressing room to put on our costumes. These are designed to fit like each design for us, they're all different. They're like custom costumes. They're white. Okay, keep this in mind. And I'm putting on my costume, and as I'm putting on my costume, my friend goes, Mia, look at your arm. And I look at my arm, and the IV from the hospital is still in my arm. So I'm like, oh my God. And I'm like also like, oh my gosh, like this looks bad. Like and so then the wardrobe guy was like, it's almost like you escaped the hospital. And I was like, no, what? And so I was like, okay, I look at my friend, I'm like, you gotta pull it. You gotta like rip it out of my arm. So I put the pressure down on the IV. She rips it out of my arm. And mind you, these are white costumes, so we're like freaking out. It's like blood, you know? But thankfully, like it worked. We put a dab on, like something to dab it off and put my costume on. No, like except for those people in that dressing room, no one knew a thing until now. But that was really insane. And then I went and put on the 4-inch heels, went on stage, did our 20-minute set, performed with Kiki Palmer, like nothing had ever happened. So that is a crazy moment that happened in entertainment. That is the reality of the entertainment industry. And I think athletes will understand that too, of like, you're going to keep playing unless like something really takes you out. Like you really can't. Like I will always try to get on that stage unless it's the worst case scenario I can't make. Like, you'll do anything. So I was really glad that I was able to do it because that would have been really, really sad if I couldn't. And I think it's also a testament to the type of dedication you need to be in this industry and determination. Like, nothing was taking me out. Like, I was going to make it on that stage and hold my part down. End it. Oh, another funny call sheet confession. It's not like crazy, but it's just funny, is a little moment that I like laugh at now. But there's a lot of production talk. There's a lot of things people say, like I have to take a 10-1, it means I have to pee. I have to take a 10-2, you know what that means. Like there's all these different talk that people use. And so something that was really funny is my boss was like, Mia, can you take this to this stage or something. Take this there. And I'm like, sure, got you. I'm doing it. And then she texts me 86. And I'm like, oh, okay, Studio 86. I'm like looking around. I'm like trying to find where stage 86 is. I'm at Sunset Gower Studios, like, where is stage 86? And then I run into her and I'm like, I'm trying to find. And she's like, Mia, 86 means like it's not happening anymore. Like 86 that. So that's a moment of like being green. But you learn these things, and hopefully I can share this information with you so that when you're on set for the first time, you know what all these words mean, and you're not running around trying to find stage 86 when it really means scratch that. You don't even need to drop that off anymore. So that's another one. Okay. So, a little bit more of what I hope this podcast becomes. Like I said, I want to educate everybody on, first of all, how to get into this industry, what steps you can take to work in the entertainment and media industry. Another thing, like I said, give you guys that information so that when you're on set for the first day, you know what to do. You make sure you get the receipt on a production run. I saw someone forget a receipt. Was not good. It was not good, guys. Make sure you get that receipt if you go on a production run. Little things like that, just making people more aware and in the know. I feel like a lot of the entertainment industry is under talked about, and it's kind of like hush hush, and like if you're in, you're in, but like we don't share this information, and I want to make this information public knowledge. And I want to inspire and inform people that want to be in this industry. So that, like, those are like the two main things that I want to do. I also just want to share stories that people can relate to, people that people can find interesting, that people would never know that would happen, so that you can be just more aware and in the know. I'm from Philly, and I live in LA now, but like I said, I'm a Philly girl at heart. So I also want to highlight not just people from Philly, not just people from LA. Like, I want to highlight both of those cities, because I'm Philly made, although I'm in Cali now, and there's so many amazing, creative, talented people in Philadelphia that I want to talk to and highlight their stories, as well as new friends and new people that I've met in Los Angeles. So that's something I want to do, is make sure I'm highlighting both cities and the talent that's there. And also I want to talk to people on the call sheet that are crew and talent, so that we have both sides of things. Like, also pushing the boundaries a little bit, we're going to talk to content creators as well, because I think content creation is really interesting, because as someone who works in the entertainment industry, like I said, it's gig work. When you're in between gigs, you need to find a way to make money. Now, content creators work for themselves and are able to make money all the time. So how great would it be if we talk to some content creators, we figure out how to get on our content grind, and then between jobs, we're all making money from social media. So that's what we're going to talk to as well. I also think content creators are becoming just way more involved with the entertainment industry. So I want to talk to everyone who fits under the umbrella of entertainment and media. In high school, and I think people would say the same thing, I remember in high school I saw this post on social media that said, careful if you spend too much time around me, you might get I might convince you to follow your dreams, basically. And I saw it and I reposted it, and my friends from high school like all slid up and were like, this is exactly you. Like, I've never saw something that's more Mia than this. And I think people would still say that now. I really love to inspire people to be completely confident in themselves and go after their wildest dreams. And that is what I'm really excited to bring to this podcast, because I'm really passionate about people following their dreams, and I'm going to talk to people that are currently living their dreams, that are chasing their dreams, and give that information to you guys out there that are aspiring with these dreams that you want to chase and how to get there. So I think that's like something that's always been super important to me. Everything that I do, I want it to be an inspiration to somebody else, because I remember my inspirations so clearly and still support them to this day, and like they keep you going, and I want to be that inspiration to others. And also I think it's cool too, because I can talk about so many different parts of this industry, like people that want to become dancers, people that want to work in production, people that want to be content creators. Like, you can do it all. You can be a multi-hyphenate. Like, I think that used to be kind of a weird thing, like you have to pick one, but That's not true. Like, being a multi-hyphenate is a superpower. You can do it all. And I want this podcast to be a place where we inspire you guys to do it all. Any dream that you have, chase it, follow it, make it happen, because you can do it. Like, you create your reality at the end of the day. I think we have made it to the end of the first episode of Call Sheet Confessions. Stay tuned. We have some Philly people coming on the next few episodes before we head back to LA. So really excited to talk with them. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you guys are excited for what's to come. I know I am. And remember, this is the catchphrase, okay? Remember, may your call times be reasonable and your checks on time. Do what you love, be someone people want to work with, and chase the dream. Also, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We're going to have this on every platform. And please comment like anything that you want us to talk about, any careers you want us to specifically highlight, any guest ideas that you have. Make sure to follow on Instagram as well and comment guests there too. And see teasers for upcoming episodes and upcoming guests. And like my Mimi always says, break a leg, but not really.